Hey everybody, welcome to Alisas Art Room. Today we're going to be working on my country farmhouse junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi, let me know you're here. We're currently live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching a replay either here or on YouTube. Hey Don, thanks for letting me know the sound is good. Let's see, get you guys pulled up so I can see chat. Hey Lori. Alright, so I got the cover. I had some issues with it. We'll talk about that. My sewing machine wasn't cooperating, but I got it fixed and I got it done. So that's good. And looks like sound is good. And I got a couple people on here. So we will go ahead and pull the camera up top and get started. All right. So yeah, last live was a challenge. My sewing machine wasn't working right. The thread kept breaking and I was having issues. Ended up, I believe it was the bobbin. The tension was wrong on it. So after playing with it for a while, I finally figured it out and got it to sew around the journal. I'm not the best sewer, so I just don't understand sewing machines a whole lot. I know the basics, but you know. So finally got sewed all the way around the edges. We've got our pocket on the one side, got a ribbon closure, and then I went ahead and glued these on so you wouldn't have to wait for the glue to dry. It was just, they were already made, it was just gluing them on, and I just glued them into place. And so there's our little pockets, and the cover is done. So I went ahead and I went around it twice because it was just, I just wanted to make sure it looked somewhat even, and I took out all the bad sewing. I pulled all that out so it looks nice and neat. So there's our cover. Now we got to pick out the pages. So I printed a bunch of stuff. I didn't have near as much farmhouse stuff as I thought I did. So finding background pages was a little challenging. Got a lot of coffee dyed stuff, but if I come up with more later, I might, I don't know. I did buy 2 digitals. I didn't go crazy with buying digitals, mostly because I just didn't want to spend that much money on them. But I found a couple. I printed the pages out. Where did I put it? I think it's in this pile. So I've got a pile of stuff here. I think I stuck it in here. Maybe. Maybe not. Nope. Must be over here. Where did you put it, girl? You had it a minute ago. It's got to be in that pile. Oh, is that it? I see it. Okay. So I purchased 2 digitals off of Etsy. First one is this Boho chicken, and I just really liked the chicken images. They were nice and colorful, and it has a couple of feather and a couple of backgrounds, but not a lot of you know, basic backgrounds. And then I found this one. This one is Down on the Farm by Tailor Made Journals, and it just has a lot of, you can't really see much in the picture, but it has a lot of very vintage farmhouse type, ephemera type stuff. And then a couple of like pages like these that are more like kind of backgroundy that I can get away with, I think, using as a background. But so I printed those two and got a little bit of stuff to use, and then I just have to decide what I'm going to use for the front, what I'm going to use for the center, and then, you know, the rest is filler stuff. Some of these are freebies. This was actually a freebie I printed a couple years back. I don't even know where I got it from. I think I just got the freebie off of Pinterest, honestly. So who knows? I know that they are public domain pictures because I've seen them other places. So they're just pretty basic. I think I added some lines on this one because they are public domain. And some of this is my stuff. So like this is my painting that I printed sepia and added lines on, put it on some of my coffee dyed paper, digitals. Another one of my paintings is the rooster from the painting. The painting's got a lot of other stuff, but I just pulled the rooster from it. And then I've got just a couple of plain things in here. This is that digital that I did with words. I just wrote a whole bunch of words in, sorry, it said trying to reconnect. I wrote a whole bunch of words in program and just printed out and added a lace background and some coffee dyeing to it. And then this is a page from, I think, Ephemera. Do I have it left out? I think I put it up. I'm pretty sure it's my Ephemera pack. And it was just some strawberries. I thought that would work. And then I printed that on the other side of it. And more coffee dyed. A couple of maps. Coffee dyed. And then I think these are from that tailor-made one down on the farm. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're from, that's from that. This is from that. And I just printed my stuff on the back of it. So these chickens are from the Boho Chicken one, I believe. It doesn't show a lot on the cover, but it has other things besides just, yeah, it's from the Boho Chicken one. And then this one's mine. This is also a painting of mine. And then just some cardstock. This is paper from a paper pad that I have that just has like, I got it actually on clearance. It was just like basic backgrounds. And so I just pulled those because I thought they were kind of farmhousey. And then I pulled some plaids from my, that plaid one. Thanks for sending the transfers, Bonnie. I appreciate that. I'll be excited to see what they are. And so we've got that. But it's just kind of a mishmash of things. I tried to print front and back everything. The backs I tried to keep just very plain and basic. This is those words, except I lightened it a whole lot, so it's just a little bit on there. This is my painting, which I think I'm going to use as a cover, and I printed it on the back of the plaid from Plaid Tidings. I think that's what that's from. It's either Plaid Tidings or Country Plaids. I think it's Plaid Tidings. Yeah, Plaid Tidings. So, hopefully, out of all of this, I can come up with enough stuff for 3 signatures. So, a lot of chickens. Between the Boho Chickens and then just some other ones that I had, and some from the second set. A lot of chickens, which is fine. I like chickens. I had a hard time finding cows that were in the right format. So we're going to play with these. I'm going to make three signatures. And if I don't have enough now, I always tend to add anyway. So I think I'm going to use these landscape ones as my centers. So that's pretty much a given. So I've got 3 of those. I gotta figure out where I did them. So this is from the tailor-made one down on the farm kit. That's from that Etsy kit. And then I have one, my landscape in here somewhere. Is it on that one? Oh. I think it's on plaid. There it is. So we've got these 3. I think I'm going to make these center spreads. Farm pictures. So that is going to be the centers. And then I have to figure out covers. And obviously it's going to be chickens because got lots of chickens. I just have to decide which ones I like best for the 3 covers. So I've got a whole bunch of them that I printed. They all look a little bit different. This one's got the chickens on the other side, so probably not that one. I was trying to keep it on the right side so that it would be the front of each signature. So, let's see if there's any more. I think that was all of them, but let me make sure. Yeah. All right. So, out of these, so these are all 8.5 by 11. Because that's what I like to use. It just works the easiest for me. And we're just going to fold them and take a peek at how they look. Hopefully I got them centered properly. Sometimes I'm a little bit off. It's a little challenging to do on the printer to get them lined up exactly right when you're trying to center. I have like a grid in my program that I've got laid out so I can try to find the center. And if most of that will be buried in the signature anyway, you won't see it. And if it's not, I can always ink it to match, kind of. These 3, there were 4 of these images with the chickens and the babies and the little chicks, and it was in this one, the down on the farm. I don't think I printed the 4th one. So I wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not. I'm sure I went through a ton of ink. I'm off on this one. It'll still be all right. I know I'm going to be off on all of them just a little bit. I always am. Like I said, it's a little bit of a challenge to line them up. Okay. That one's pretty. I would have loved to have found more like original vintage type pictures, but I just didn't in the time frame I was allotting myself. All right, so here's what we have. So this would be the front side of the signature. So we have these chickens. So what do you think? Any favorites? I only need 3 because I'm doing 3 signatures, so I need 3. And we can use the others elsewhere, but just for the fronts, I'm thinking, I know I like this one, and I'm thinking I might put that one right in the front because it matches my fabric so well. I think it will look good as a front signature in here, and it goes real well with the reds, I think. So definitely that for one. And then the second one, what are you thinking? Thoughts? Bonnie said top rooster, which I assume is that one I just pulled. And so the second signature, I could go a different style, or I could switch up to this style or this style. I could do one of each style because we've got 3. So what do y'all like for the second one? Maybe this one and one of the ones with the babies. I think I like this one better than this one because it's facing right, and I think I would like it facing right on the front cover. So I think that one. And then which one of these? Any thoughts? One of these. This, or this. So this one. So these 3. So the 3 roosters. Yes. I'm seeing hearts. That must mean yes. All right, 3 roosters it is. All right, so that's my 3 fronts. And we'll place these somewhere else in the signatures. And then we'll have to figure out all this other stuff. I've got some bags here, some envelopes. So I want to try to get it like 7 pages. It could go more, but at least 7 is what I typically like. So let's see. We'll just start with this one first. Well, actually, I probably should lay them all 3 out, because if I don't, I will not have something. It won't be even. Let's see if I can kind of lay them out here. So how am I going to do this and still see them? Move these so I don't get them confused. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and then I want to open them up, I think. I'm going to put this one last. All right, so we don't really have to have it on top per se. So we have some of this with the more vintage looking ones. This one's got some of my cows on the back. Let's see if I have another one that looks similar to that. This one. That's not cardstock though. Just trying to stay the same material. I don't think I have another cardstock in that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just use that. So these 3. I may change the direction later. For now, I'm just going to fold them all like this, and if it's not working for some reason, I can always fold them the other way. Sometimes things just don't quite look right. All right, so something like this. And this. And I don't know what I want on that first page. If I want to keep it with the brown. The brown looks pretty good. I think I did all of these coffee dyed. So the brown's probably fine. And then we might want to try to get into something maybe a little plainer, like just maybe a plain coffee dyed paper. I think I've got 3 somewhat plain coffee dyed papers in here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Okay. plain. It's hard to see when I'm folding. So that can go. That. This can go like that. Oh, I gotta fold. And that can go that. And then I have one of these. It's probably all I have. This is similar. I have another coffee dyed. What's this one? I tried to leave enough plain ones that I could, you know, decorate them with things, whether it be transfers or whatever. Alright, so these three that are similar, these are similar. They don't have to be exactly right, like the same. Let's see. Maybe I'll go with these three. I feel like I want color in between there though, so we're going to hold off on those. We'll do maybe, I've got lace. I have some reds. I have two reds. Maybe I need another red. I got this darker red and this lighter red. I'm debating on whether I want it next to that. See which one looks better. I should have plenty of it because I just bought the pack. So see if I can line this guy up. I like this dark. Let me see what the other reds are. I don't remember. I don't know if I got the darkest one or not the darkest one. I think that's the darkest one. Yeah, that's the darkest, I think. No, maybe not. It's hard to tell. Sometimes the lighting. Is it that one? No. Yes? No? No. Alright, so this is that red, I think. Okay, there's a slightly darker one too. So there's, well, it's so hard to tell in the lighting, but there's a slight difference. Boy, it's hard to tell. Look at, can you even see the difference there? Where it changes? It's so slight. I think it's more of a, almost a burgundy. But I think it would work fine. I'm trying to see where it changes. It's not quite there. It's hard to see. There it is. Alright, so this shade, this red, I think that's that. Oh, there's another darker one too. I don't know what it is. It's almost, oh, it looks faded, I guess. This one. That one looks kind of faded. And then this one is, I think, the lightest. Alright, so there's my shades. So, if I put them next to the front cover, I think the darker one looks best with that. You won't see a lot, but you'll see it when you open it. So I don't know, maybe. What do you think? The medium one? Maybe one red and one medium. This one's kind of burgundy-ish too. What's that other one look like? That one may be more red. So I think that one looks more like this color. So I'll do this color. Can I see it to line it up? Nope. I gotta get somewhere on a blank area that I can see. I'm trying to get them somewhat straight. Alright, I think maybe this one. So if I did this here, just to break up that brown a little bit, I could do that. And then this one and this one. Break up that brown. And then I think another dark one for that last one. I could even go this really darker shade with this one because it's pretty dark. Yeah. We'll do those. I'm sure I'll have a challenge trying to find stuff with it. That's usually the case. Alright, so we'll do this one. Okay, and then let's see, that's 3. And we've got our chickens, our random chickens. So this one has, they're all just plain right there. I could either put it between there, and I'll probably move these 10 times because I always keep changing my mind, and then I have to figure it out. I think I like this building too. Do that. And then maybe one of these. It's got the feathers and stuff. And one of these guys, what's on the inside? Plain, plain, and another building. Is that the same building? Nope, different building. Okay. Put this one here. Okay. And did this one fall out? No. Okay, no, it didn't. And then, let's see, we've got maps. I was debating on how to use them. They're not really, cut to size or anything yet, but I think that's I don't know if it's probably not too narrow. No, that's not narrow. I could use that one, maybe here. And this one I might do a pocket or something. I don't know. For right now, I'm just going to put the whole thing in there. I'm debating on how I want to lay it. Maybe like this. Do that. I don't have any more map. We do something different. What can I throw in there? How about, I'll do this one in here. Does that match okay? Yeah, I think so. What else do you have? Anything? I think it's okay. And then I have my cow with notes and a chicken. How many pages we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just got words. We're down to kind of uneven, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be even. I'm going to put a paper bag in here somewhere too. Just don't know where. So where do I want this? Where would this cow look good? That one doesn't have color. Some of them have color, some of them don't. I think I already have a light one there. Would it look good? Chicken. Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the map there or not. We'll figure that out. I don't know if I want this plain cardstock. Probably not. We have another chicken one. Where did I put that other one? So that one's different. And this one's the same, right? Yeah, that's the same. So maybe I'll put it over here. Yeah, I'll put it over here because this one we picked that building one. Let's put it maybe here. And this is strawberries and words. Put the strawberries. Maybe. I feel like I'm getting too many in here. How many is in here? I'm getting uneven already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's because we didn't have a map on that one. And then the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, it did stay even. So these are just kind of randoms. Let's see, we've got lace and wood. Let's see if I can find a good spot for that. Probably in the one with the lighter ones. For the wood anyway. Is this the one with the lighter one? Still pretty brown. Maybe next to the map. Yeah, maybe next to the map. That one's got a lot of plain stuff. Might switch this out for this. And then this one, let's do, I think the rooster's okay there. A lot of lines. Let's see, how many lines do I have in here? I got 1. That's all. No lines in this one. Oh, I already have a rooster there. So I have a rooster there and a rooster there. What's on the other side of that? Oh, it's on that. What's on the other side of this one? The cow. Maybe that's too many roosters together. Look at this. Do this. Then I have to put plain in there. Although that color isn't bad with that. Maybe we'll do that so I don't use 2 of the same ones. I don't know. I might use it anyway. Okay. That's that. That's that. We'll save these for now. These are just fillers in case I need more. Whew, I'm burning up already. All right, we need our center pages. And decide where I'm going to put the map. It's probably not going to be next to the center page. It's probably going to be maybe here. I'm leaning toward there. I don't think I want them out next to the center. So let's move this white one over. Let's see if I move these two. We've got that one, so that's separated a little bit. That would be next to the center, which that's not terrible. Or I could put it up here. I might move this here. That. Now a lot of these things, like this will be covered up with something different anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't know what. A lot of the things will, you know, end up being covered up. And then that, I think. All right, that should work. All right, so we need centers. So we've got this, and this. So this one's a little bit different, but that's not a big deal, I guess. Debating if I want to switch anything. I don't think so. I think I'll just leave that. All right, so it doesn't really matter who gets what. These are both mine. Suppose we could put them together. Do like that. All right, fold this one. Oh, that's plaid on the back. I wonder what that looks like with what's on the other side. On this one, we've got the brown, which, am I okay with that? Maybe. We'll leave it for now. And this one has red. Which is fine. I tried to pick one that wasn't too Christmassy. That should be all right. And then this one. Tried to pick ones that I thought looked like, you know, flannel shirts, which to me says Farmhouse. Maybe that. Yeah, I think that's good. It's thick. I used a lot of cardstock, which I don't always do that. This one, that one's thinner. Don't know why. Let's see. Did I get off count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that one has one more. Maybe I should add one more to this one. 9's a lot. Honestly, I might put this white one in there just so I can break up that white a little bit. So I want this to go this way. And if it gets too bulky, I can always take something out, or if I feel like it needs more, I can add more in. There, then we got two with the white, black and whites together. So now those two have 9, and then this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this one has 8. Let's see, what do I have left? I have that cow one, or I just have a plain. I could just do a plain. How many planes are in here? 1. Not that many. 2. I'll just do a plain. much bulk. Might stick it between there. I don't particularly like those two together anyway. Okay. So there, there, there. All right, so we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with these maps. So that's our signatures. It's a little more than I wanted. 9. 9 is pushing it. I can get too bulky with 9, but I did give myself a 2-inch spine, so it should be fine. What you look for is when you put it in there, with all your stuff in there before all your ephemera, can you close this still? If you can close this still, chances are you're going to be fine. So it should be fine. So this I'm going to put, I think I'm going to have this in the center, that one on the end, this one in the front. I think I like that way. Yeah. I think this one looks best in front. All right, so that's our signatures. I have to decide what to do with these 2 maps. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna, and then I've got bags and I've got envelopes, so yeah. Does everyone need a bag? No. I could just do a bag on one, an envelope on another, something like that. So maybe do a bag. And I'm just sticking them in here for now. I'm not gonna figure out what I'm doing yet with them. So we do one bag, and then I've got a couple of different envelopes. Let's see which one looks best. Maybe could go there or there. So I have this one, and then I have just plain white ones. That one doesn't have a flap. One has a flap. I'm checking the window size and make sure that I'm not going to have to chop it off. This one's a little big. So I could do the brown, or I could do, I'm going to cover it up anyway. It really isn't going to matter, but with this window size, it's not bad. Let's do the brown. So this. Going to be uneven fold because I want the whole window on one side, hopefully, which means it needs to be closer to the front because the front is always has more space than the inside. Of course it's upside down. Why is the window always on the wrong side? All 3 of those are on the wrong side. It's not a big deal, but which means that the window would be on the other page, which means it would be here. Don't like it there. I think I'd rather have it here. All right, maybe there. Something to do with this map pages. And then this one, I don't know if I'm going to put another envelope or not. Probably not. So this is going to be some sort of a pocket, I think. So sew it in there. It's already got these natural folds, which I'll have to cover this and play with them. Because it's thinking I could make a pocket of some sort, maybe. I might just make a, I don't like them to go toward the inside. That's the only thing. How close is this to the center? This is pretty close to the outside, right? Yeah. It might be all right. If I make a pocket. And just some sort of a tuck. Where's that fold? It's right there. So it would be about here. About there. And then this one would be about here. I don't think that's been cut even. I'll have to cut it. Try to get even top and bottom. It's folded, of course. Maybe. Seems like it fits about right. I think so. When you do a fold like this, you have to be careful that you're pretty sure that you're in the right spot. Because if I was to do it toward this inside and then I decide to trim these later because they're not even and you've got a fold there, you're going to cut your fold. So that's why you got to kind of think about that and where it's at in the journal, because the outside of the journal usually doesn't get much trimming, you know, maybe for the first 3 pages or so. But then as you get to the inside, these might trim as much as 1/8 of an inch. So like I will be really close to like that little tail there if I leave that there. And my center pictures will lose a little bit. I think I'll probably lose that O off of there because I'll probably end up having to trim it so that they're somewhat flush. But I don't really care if I lose it. Sorry about the yawning, goodness. I didn't get any sleep. I had to get up and go to the doctor this morning with like 2 hours sleep. All right, I think that'll work. I just have to trim it right there. Did I bring that trimmer? I have a trimmer that'll work, I think. Go ahead and trim it. I'm not 100% sure about the depth of the fold. Like I said, I'll probably wait to decide to trim it till last anyway. That way, if I need to move something, I can. Try some trimmer here. So let's just see. Is that fairly straight? It's actually not bad. I'm just going to trim off the top and bottom a little. Let's see if I can do this with the actual measurement. Which side is it? This side? To be about 8.5. All right. Put that back in there. Okay. And the other one I think fit pretty good other than height. So we'll trim off a little bit of height. Let's see. I think I'm gonna leave the green. So I'll trim the bottom. Right through the word national, but I don't guess it matters. Like I said, I'll probably cover the most of it up anyway. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I have no idea. No clue. Something cool. All right, so there's that. All right, that is pretty much it for putting our signatures together. So we have 3 signatures, approximately 9 pages each. I say approximately because it'll probably change. It almost always does. I either decide that it's too thick or I don't like a color or something, and then I switch them out. That's why I don't like to sew them in first, because I change my mind too much. I might not like this red there or something. I don't know. All right. We're not going to really do much else today, I don't think, because I just don't have anything planned. I just wanted to get these signatures made. I think they look okay. I'm just kind of glancing at colors and thicknesses. I think we're good. All right, y'all like it? I like that layout. This will be turned into a pocket somehow. I think that is all I had laid out for that. I'll show you the fabric I bought today. I found. I was at Hobby Lobby trying to find paper, which I could not. And they had this little fat quarter with these piggies. I washed it, so it's dry now. Dries fast. I usually just wash it by hand, because when I wash them in the machine, this stuff gets insane and it ends up in this knotted ball, and it's a mess. So I just wash them by hand and then dry them. Isn't it cute? A billion little piggies. It was just too cute not to buy it. I have no clue what I'll do with it. I'll either make a fabric flip, or I'll cover the back of a card for a journaling card or something. It'll go in there somehow. It was just cute. I think I have anything else for today. That was quick. I will be back on, gosh, I don't even know what the day is. It's Wednesday, right? I'll be back on Friday, and we'll start on ephemera and stuff and decorating pages. Okay, so y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope you enjoyed seeing that process. A lot of times I have this done already, and I just show you the finished pieces, but that way you kind of got to see the process today of, you know, how I think about it and do it. And that's pretty much it. I just kind of try to keep the sizes similar, and I try to keep the colors, you know, organized a little bit, and then add, you know, a little bit of other stuff if I have it. I didn't have a lot, but that's it. All right, guys, I will be back on Friday. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I'm going to go eat me some food because I haven't eaten yet, and I will see you guys Friday. All right, take care. Bye-bye.